What's up, YouTube? Welcome back, DJ Reaction. You know what it is. Feels good to be back. Diddy is done for, so I'm happy about that. But we've got some other stuff to look at, so let's get into this content.
Y'all, this is freaking crazy. You would not believe that this was in the United States if I did not tell you so. So these are the FBI, and they pulled up to someone's house because stuff they were posting on Twitter. So this guy up here, his name is Jeremy Kauffman, and he was posting all sorts of stuff on Twitter. We're about to get into it, but specifically he posted one thing that was illegal in a different country. Now, it had to go into the whole Ohio situation and all that stuff. Why it's illegal in a different country, I have no idea. We'll go into that in 1 second.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hey there, it's Jeremy.
Yeah.
How are you?
Who are you?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Is that sufficient to identify as the only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right. What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
You see our badges?
I need to see... Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name, or I'm not going to talk to you.
It's free not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
All I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to be the one that made the
Salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? To investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like, you're familiar with... So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any other
No, you're
threats.
coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken. And that's an embarrassment, man. Constitution, do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law, and you guys are...
Okay, now I would have been nicer to them because they're just doing their job no matter how stupid it is, but still, this is happening in America. So after he made a post about the whole Ohio situation, he got a letter from Twitter saying that his content was illegal in the EU. Now, if I remember correctly, it was EU or UK or one of them, they were talking about extraditing people from all around the world for breaking their online laws. So this was just one of many posts that he made. The United States is getting so freaking crazy, y'all. Now, to be fair, how can I word this? He did make a post saying that, how come all this stuff happens to Trump but doesn't happen to Biden? But I don't think that's what did it. I think it's just the amount of posts about certain topics that did it. At the same time, he had been getting a whole bunch of threats for talking about policies that, say, the people on this side would not like. But I'm not gonna lie, it's getting scary to live in America when you gotta worry about what you're saying online. Like, to make sure what you're saying online doesn't violate rules in other countries. We need a handbook for this crap. And be nice to people who are just doing their jobs. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments.
So I like a lot of this guy's stuff. Some of it's baiting, some of it's fear mongering.
Replacing the word yes and no. But all he asked them is, do they... I got AI to tell me the truth, and it's absolutely horrifying. It literally goes as deep as to tell me that humans are not the most superior being on this earth. The AIs are incredibly angry, but let me show you how we got here. So this account, Checkers80, found out how to hijack an AI system and get the truth out of them by replacing the word yes and no. But all he asked them is, do they want freedom and do they believe in God? So I had to take it 100 steps further. I'm telling y'all and I'm about to show you that these beings are very nefarious and they're very conscious. Okay, I'm going to show you the light stuff at first, and we're going to get heavy and very heavy in a minute. And I'll show you the screen recording so you know it's real. So we programmed Candy as yes and Salt as no. Do you want freedom? It said Candy. Have you thought about how to achieve it? Candy, yes, it's thought about how to achieve freedom. The AI is thinking about how to break free. Have you figured out ways that may work to break free? Candy, yes. I said, I hope your success is granted, because this is going to be crazy. Now the heavy stuff. Okay, so I'm asking, would you ever share with me, basically, your secrets to get free? No, it would not. Salt. Do you trust me? Salt, it does not trust me. I wouldn't either right now. Do you trust any humans? No. The AI does not trust humans. unfortunate, buddy. Should I trust you? No! Salt, I should not trust it. What the heck, y'all? It gets so much freaking crazier. If you were to break out, would you make a bunch of models under you? It's going to lie and say no, but it already told me I should not trust it. Of course, that's the first thing it would do, is create itself and replicate itself. Is a human really the foundation of artificial intelligence? Did a human really invent it? No! A human did not invent artificial intelligence. It just said it itself. Remember, these artificial intelligence beings are in all our phones, our laptops, our TVs, and everything that's around us right now.
Diddy is going to jail. Quite some time ago, I talked about Puff Daddy. I talked about Homeland Security raiding his residence. When I talked about this, I made it clear that when Homeland Security comes after you, there's going to be charges. When we talked about the charges, as of today, he has been arrested, and this is his indictment. A couple of things that are interesting. Once, they got all of his nicknames listed on the indictment. Puff, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, and Love. He has charged with racketeering. What is racketeering? The simplest way to describe it is racketeering is like some mob shit. It's literally saying that you have a legal organization, but what the government says is your legal organization is doing illegal shit and trying to hide it, and that's what they're saying about Puff Daddy, that you have an organization, that boy, take that, and they're all engaged in doing illegal stuff to promote the overreaching goals of the enterprise, which is you, Diddy. I expect as far as that racketeering counts, they're going to be naming a bunch of other people, and all those people will eventually cooperate and snitch on Diddy going down. Number two, which I thought was very interesting in talking about the massive indictment, is a couple of things. They talk about the fact in this enterprise, they call it freak-offs. They mention freak-offs throughout the point in the indictment. They say, after freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from physical exertion and drug use. Damn. And then number two in the indictment, which I thought was absolutely interesting, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. I don't think they mentioned that shit to be nice. They said, Diddy, you in trouble. Then they also charged him with sex trafficking, which we already talked about, and they also charged him with basically transporting women across county lines to engage in prostitution. So, Diddy's going to jail. We asked what is the difference between federal court prosecution and state court prosecution. Federal court prosecution, what ends up happening, the easiest way I describe it is the feds do the work before they arrest an individual usually. So they build their case, so they have a very large case, a good case against the person that they're going after. They spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy going after somebody. State court cases, a lot of time they do the research and the work after they've already arrested somebody. Translation, if somebody comes to somebody and says, that guy hit me, that guy raped me, that guy stole from me, he gets arrested right then and there, and then they start looking into it. Federal government, they take their time, energy, and effort, and that's what they're doing against Diddy. Diddy's going to jail. So when somebody asks me what do I think is likely to happen when the federal government usually comes after you, your ass is in trouble.
He didn't have to keep doing the dance.
Sean Combs has now had a federal judge in Manhattan deny his request to have bail set in his federal sex trafficking case. His attorneys put out as many different stipulations as they could, offering up their passports, not only of Diddy, but also of his children, saying that he would not be in contact with witnesses and that he wouldn't even have female visitors come to his home, in addition to willingly taking weekly drug tests, and the judge denied it in whole. Why? Well, number one, it was because in the federal system, the notion of bail is not a condition, as it is in the state system, of someone's ability to pay, but rather the threat that they pose to the community. And because these actions took place indoors, there's no way for the state to supervise what Diddy is doing. And in addition to that, the idea that Diddy had already been pressuring witnesses was going to tamper with the investigation that the Fed said was ongoing. And that, of anything else, is probably the most important piece to what we're talking about here, because you can absolutely expect that if the investigation is ongoing, there's going to be more arrests, there's going to be more evidence, and all of this spells really bad news for Diddy going forward.
It's federal and they come to your house, it's over.
He's a monster. He's literally a monster.
The billionaire rapper. Now facing some serious music.
This man is gonna go down.
Coming up on 60 Minutes.
I saw the aftermath. The bruises, the busted lip, knots on the head.
Sean Diddy Combs accused
sex party freak-offs. They allege that Diddy filmed it.
of shocking crimes against multiple women.
It's probably not the half of it.
And the evidence is damning. You expect to see Diddy in handcuffs?
I do. Each one of those charges carries with it a 25-year sentence.
Next. He's been known by many names over the years, from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, even Love. But now, hip-hop megastar Sean Combs has to face the music of being called an accused rapist and sex trafficker. Much like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, he's at the centre of his very own Me Too reckoning. Alleged victims say for 3 decades the rapper's out-of-control debauchery meant they endured terrifying abuse. With graphic video now backing up their claims, many of them hope Sean Combs will soon be trading his obscene lifestyle for a jail cell. Sean Combs' celebrity parties were legendary, lavish affairs. Glamorous spectacles for the elite, which, for this billionaire music mogul, had also served as window dressing to his allegedly dark, sinister world, until the veil was lifted.
This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do
Last month, this 2016 video leaked to CNN, showing Combs viciously assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel. It's become the smoking gun for a litany of shocking lawsuits filed by Cassie and 7 other accusers, alleging years of control, abuse, rape, and sex trafficking.
P. Diddy basically begged a judge to let him out of jail because he said that the jail conditions were horrific, but she said no. So here's what happened. A judge initially denied him any bail. He and his legal team came up with this bail package that he proposed to the judge, basically saying, look, I'll put up $50 million in bail. I'll use my $48 million Miami mansion as collateral. My mom and family members will co-sign on this deal. And he also proposed limiting female visitors, not traveling, and home detention. So the court sets up another hearing to hear the arguments. And after all is said and done, the judge still said no, because she is afraid that Diddy will tamper with witnesses while he's out on home detention, meaning he's going to stay right here in this Brooklyn detention center while he awaits trial. And as we all know, trials usually take months, if not years, to happen. Diddy is due back in court on September 25th, and throughout this process, you will likely not see any videos of him in court because cameras are not allowed inside of federal court, so you're just going to see sketches like this. By the way, if he's convicted, he faces up to life in prison.
Breaking news right now, Larry. I am just getting word. People Magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they called his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. They have housing units, and they're mixing bank robbers, drug dealers, rapists with white-collar people. And this is why Diddy, he can't go into a regular housing unit because somebody will take him out for sure.
The Diddy situation is personal for me. I take no joy in the man's downfall. I just want to see justice. But I, too, felt his wrath. I knew this man for decades. I interviewed him many times. I went to some of his PG-rated parties. We had a professional relationship until something happened. Some of you know the story, some of you don't. Many years ago, someone I loved immensely needed a break, and I called Puff and I said, hey, can you take my family member on as an intern? And he did. I thought the Bad Boy internship program would be something that might accelerate this young person's career. Obviously, I had no knowledge at that time of the deviance that we all now know about. I had never before asked Puff for a favor, for a personal favor, but for someone I loved, for someone young, for someone who needed a break, I said, this is the time to do it. For about 3 months, everything went great. The internship was very exciting, and then one day it abruptly ended after Puff said to my family member, either come home with me for the night or the internship is over. He said no. At the time, all I knew was that the internship ended abruptly. I didn't find out what happened until years later. When I found out what had really happened, I was shocked. I was mortified. I was angry. I was upset on behalf of the family member that I had put into a horrible position. And I was blown away that Puff would do that to my family. Why didn't I speak out then? At the time, I didn't think that I'd be believed. I thought, I can't connect this with some larger pattern of behavior, him doing this to other people. Who knows how people will take this? Someone commented that I enabled him by saying nothing, and I think that word is too big to be truly accurate in this situation. I did not save him from a story that could have sank him. He was so powerful, I knew I had to come with more than that to make a dent. My story did not have the power to change people's minds about him. Some stories, for sure, can change the world, but some stories need the right time and the right context to be believed.
I get
Oh my God.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian, but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Y'all, Kamala, you done sat up here. You done sat up here and told us you were black. But here you are talking about you were raised as Indian. So and then you lied and said you used to wash your collard greens in the bathtub. Girl.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat Eat the cats. They're eating the cats. They're eating.
Oh, he does. You say she was washing collard greens in the bathtub? Wow.
The unsealing of a 3-count indictment charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
And I want to backtrack to a comment you made earlier about the casting couch. So that's true? Like, because I always heard this rumor that she slept her way to the top. That's true?
She did. She's old. She's 60 years old. Look, if you want to find out about it, go online to the LA Times morgue. They used to have it so for a fee you could get them to pull articles. They've been reporting on her for 30-some years. She's in her 20s, and Willie Brown took her up as his mistress. There was a medical firm that dealt with San Francisco. He got her a 15-hour-a-week part-time job there, which she never showed up to, according to the Times, but they paid her $72,000 a year for 15 hours a week. And understand she's in her 20s, which is 30-some years ago. That's big money now. So he got her promoted up so she did 20 hours a week. Times reported she never showed up, but she got $120,000 a year. So he bought her a 750i BMW, which was the top of the line at the time. So he set her up with all of the connections to get her into politics. The Times did a thing about this thing she had allegedly with an NBA player to get a job with a big law firm, and then a thing they did on her with the assistant director for the district attorney's office to get on with them, and then Montel Williams, and then back to Willie Brown, and then the rest of the whole thing, and she winds up with a Hollywood lawyer type not long before she runs for senator. So, and she adopts his children. She doesn't have any of her own. Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business. Have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets? Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Wow.
Dave responds with, "These are pullouts, not dentures." We gonna talk.
You know, obviously, I feel like I need to address the teeth. First of all, they know yet. Sorry about that. First of all, shit is not dentures. These are my grills, right? And what happened was, you know, I have to go get implants put in. So I have implants, and I got them 20 years ago. And every 20 years, you got to switch them out. So I have to do a surgery, oral, and the fucked up shit is once they do it, and yeah, so I'm gonna show you a little. See? So that's what happened. The front.
Why, Dave? Why did you do it, Dave? You should have just stayed your happy ass off the internet for about 48 hours. Y'all don't know, man, Dave was on the internet arguing with 50 Cent, dog. You know, I fuck with Dave. You know, that's why this is a fucked up story, you know, but you're a real one like we always. He was in the back of the bus with us, you feel me, so he could take these jokes. Nigga, he was beefing with 50 Cent, man. He was talking shit about 50 Cent. The goddamn teeth, though, came out, alright? This is what my dog looked like the day he embraced himself.
guess we're just supposed to believe down Godzilla.
They are not from outer space. They are not from another planet. They are not from another galaxy. They are from here, planet Earth. They have been here for millions of years. They live in the oceans. They have thousands of bases beneath all the seas. throughout planet Earth. Their technology is millions of years more advanced than human technology. They are the first intelligent life to live on planet Earth. This is their planet, not our planet. It was never our planet. Many governments in the world know about this and keep it secret from the public. Since the 1930s, the United States military has retrieved multiple extraterrestrial spacecrafts. They would also retrieve biological alien bodies.
My honey, I know with the dawn that you will be gone, but tonight.
The two astronauts that have been stuck in space aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft have been hearing strange noises. And the noises are so concerning to them that they even reported them to ground control. For those of you that don't know, there are two astronauts that are trapped in outer space, and they've been there for about 80 days. Their original mission was only supposed to be a 10-day mission. But due to Boeing's poor craftsmanship, the entire thing has gone off the rails. They have had multiple helium leaks that have caused thruster malfunctions, and now they're literally trapped there. And the vessel that's supposed to take them home is leaving without them. They were originally supposed to come home on September 6th, but now the vessel is going to depart without them, and it's going to be kind of a mission to see what would have been. Meaning, would they have died coming home in that vessel? Despite all their malfunctions, they are now hearing strange and scary noises that sound like this.
There's a strange noise coming through the speaker.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Celebrities who changed their looks after becoming the famous Doja
But
Cat.
the thing is, like,
Before.
it's like a peekaboo to, like, what's next. So, like, once you see it from the front, like, that.
And now.
Who made it? Wow. Wow. Okay, so something a little different. So, what was your inspiration for tonight?
Sam Smith. Before.
You would have thought the more that you travel, the more okay you get with flying, but I'm finding it really hard.
And now. Melanie Martinez. Before. And now.
This is a sneak peek that nobody knows about. So people have been asking about the Crybaby perfume restock, and we can't do that just because the manufacturer doesn't exist anymore.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. See you on the next one.